What's up? What's up? You already know. All right. So I'm just testing this out. See if the signal is better. But even if it isn't, I didn't want to leave without speaking about these snakes before we move on to a whole nother topic. But I find this is essentially just as important as everything I was previously talking about. Hopefully we don't get interrupted. So what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna zoom through this. We're gonna get up out of here. We're gonna move on with our day. So the reason why I wanted to speak about snake spirits before we move on to a whole nother energy is these are the type of spirits that have been suppressed for a reason. What do I mean by that? It can go. We can take it all the way back to the Bible, right? Ran game on Eve, seduced Eve, charmed Eve, however you want to put it, right? It says the serpent charmed Eve, then she went and charmed Adam of good and evil. And then they knew good and evil, then they found out that they were naked, and they tried to hide themselves. So, of course, there's many ways that can be interpreted. But the direction I want to go in is, why was it a serpent and not, let's just say, an alligator or a fox or a raccoon or an owl? There's a specific reason why the serpent was chose as a vessel to awaken those who are sleeping, right? Now, and there's no coincidence why what everybody wants to do, which is to raise up their kundalini, which is also termed the sex force, up the spine so that they can reach enlightenment. It's not a coincidence that that symbolism deals with the snake energy as well. It's not a coincidence that the money sign is dealing with the snake energy. As I said in the previous video, you have money, you have woman, and you have sex. If you can find out what they all have in common, you have discovered a grand secret of life. All right, let me show you this book. As you clearly see, you see the snake symbol. So there's the snake symbol once again. Wanted to show y'all that book, just to put this into proper context. But like I said, we're not gonna be here too long. We just want to get this one point out that we're going about our business. So the reason why the serpent. Okay. All right, we back. Can I type the name of what? Type the name of what? What do you want me to type? But till then, let me just finish this point. Money, spells, and charms. That's it. Just money, spells, and charms. Money, Spells, and Charms by Jade. Now that's a super occult book. And the reason I say it's a super occult book is because you have to get it from other places. It's even mentioned in this book. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Let me just turn to example what I'm talking about. A seal of Jupiter and a new moon on a Thursday in the hour of Jupiter. So that's letting you know right there. Now we're dealing with planetary energy. We're dealing with the hour of energy. What's up, Rob? Then it says, make the seal of. So y'all see that this is serious work. They talking about the hour of Jupiter. They talking about the planet of Jupiter. They talking about dragon's blood. There's one, and each spell has like a different herb that you work with. So it's all type of spells. Clover, fast luck, bath salts, mojo bags, I just wanted to show y'all the book just to see the correlations. Let me get back on point. Let me grab my notes if I can find them. Here we go. Give me 1 second. All right. So what's the reason? Why was this serpent chosen to represent these energies? Because the serpent is not only a universal symbol, it's also a primordial symbol, meaning the symbol is timeless. And it represents, it's like those crystals that open up all of your chakras. You have crystals that literally can work on any one of your chakras because they're universal. So when we work with the energy of the snake, as we see, it can represent a vast multitude of things. It's in the form of a deity, whether it's just a symbol of a serpent, whether it's an actual snake. However you choose to work with the energy of a snake, it's going to reveal to you different degrees of information. So, for example, it's going to show you the secrets of sex, it's going to show you the secrets of money, and it's going to show you the secrets of women. You know what I mean? Just simply working with that energy alone will reveal to you all type of secrets that we didn't even know correlated together. There's many snake deities out there. You just got to do your Google so you can find them. So anytime you're working with the serpent energy, you know that you're working with an energy that can lead you to enlightenment, that can also lead you to the depths of your subconscious mind so that you can find even further healing methods so that we can clear out our slate and not rub that energy off on nobody else or just be carrying it around, holding ourselves back. Because not only we can sometimes sabotage other people, but we can also sabotage ourselves because we're not dealing with the issues that's constantly just roaming free about within us because we're not dealing with it. So it's like a wild animal just running free in your bloodstream, which will eventually lead to sickness and death because it's not being dealt with. So the more that we deal with the things that we can't see, the things that are in our unconscious mind, the things that are around but we're not thinking about it, the things that affect us but very, very subtly. This is the thing that the snakes target. It's those subtle things that we may overlook, the subtle things that we don't think about, and the subtle things that are unknown to us. The serpent reveals all secrets. That's why the serpent was used as an example in the story of Adam and Eve, because the serpent reveals the secrets. That's the purpose it serves on a spiritual level. All right? Of course, you have another definition of the snake, because people say, like in the streets, a snake isn't something to be proud to be. Or if you a snake, that's something that you shouldn't be proud to be about. It shouldn't be something that you're proud to even claim, right? So that's what I mean by the snake can take on a dark essence or a light essence, depending on how you look at it. It's like the equivalent to a rainbow. You have the deity Damballa, right? You have a deity called Damballa, who is a giant snake. He's like a primordial snake that helped create the world. You know what I mean? You can read up on his story. He's like a creator god. And he has his partner called Erotic, which is a rainbow. So snakes are also connected to rainbows. And what's at the end of the rainbow, based on mythology? A pot of gold. So there's further a connection between sex, Damballa, and Erotic. Erotic being the rainbow, the symbol of a rainbow, because most people nowadays associate rainbow with the gay culture, right? But the symbol of a rainbow is deeper, or is older than that definition, than the energy that is currently associated with. But there's also a reason why that energy was chosen to represent that energy as well. There's a reason why the rainbow represents the gay energy. There's a reason for that. That's why that energy was chosen. So you got the rainbow, then you got the serpent, then of course you got the pot of gold. As I said, the number 3 resonates with sex, money, and women. There's a correlation there. So once again, the serpent is like a universal energy, a universal spirit and it can take you however far you want to go or however deep you want to go. How's the connection? I think it's still going in and out, but I just want to speak about the serpents. I didn't want to leave without speaking about these serpents, because this is probably like the most important part of the video, which I was trying to get out. So after you watch part one, if you haven't seen part one, watch part one. So now when you hear me speaking about snakes, you know what I mean, you will see, you can piece it together more so than what I'm speaking about currently right now. But the signals seem to be a little bit better, but I don't really want to take my chances as going in and out, you know what I mean? But I definitely didn't want to leave without speaking about the snakes and the serpents. Also, the last point is, that's why you have, the 12 sign astrology, but then you have the 13 sign astrology, which includes the zodiac of Ophiuchus, which is the serpent bearer. Ophiuchus is the serpent bearer. So the imagery is a man holding a snake. So you can say the 13th sign, or the hidden sign of the zodiac, resonates with serpents. Once again, right? Everybody is saying it's stable. Well, hopefully, So once again, the hidden, where the pharaohs, the crown, they had the snake coming out of their third eye. For those who are familiar, open up the third eye. So once again, I'm just making all these correlations and correspondences to the serpent spirits or the snake spirits, because they are universal. They will help you go to the deepest depths of yourself, all the way up to your enlightenment. Meaning you can work with a snake through the whole process. There may be other forms of energies where you may only want to work with in the dark, or other energies you only want to work with in the day. But the serpent spirits can navigate through the darkness as well as the light, where there's other deities is either here or there. That's why the energy of the serpent is so loved yet so hated at the same time, because it actually represents both of those energies. To those who don't understand the spirituality of it, they just see it as something negative. They understand why people view it as negative, right? So again, I don't want to be on here too long. Let me make sure that I hit all of my points. See, yeah. So I talked about the power of erotic and obscene imagery, which is all about just people being mostly afraid of their own sexuality, and that manifests in their relationships and all throughout their life. So the serpent can help you, not necessarily somebody else, but your own sexual. Talked about the many paths of the goddesses, where you have some light goddesses, but you also have dark goddesses. The example I used was Urzuli. Urzuli very destructive further than it would when you normally are having this sex, engaging, like playing a game of chess. If you want to play a game of chess, you got to be sure, you got to learn how to navigate and slither like a snake. Right? You can't move in a straight line. You got to bend, and you got to be flexible and mutable, just like a snake is. Let me see what else. I guess I can talk about this. It's different degrees of blood offerings. So what I mean by different degrees of blood offerings is there's a difference. Meaning, you have animal sacrifices, or the blood from a sacrificed animal, versus you have the blood that comes out of you. But then you have another form of blood, like the menstrual blood. Okay, we back. So you got blood in the form of semen. You got blood in the form of menstrual blood right now. And you got blood in the form of an animal sacrifice. Now, as I speak about in the previous video, the blood holds energy. Energy is the true frequency, or energy is the true currency. The true currency is energy. So that's why people make of a snake's blood. And some people, that's why dragon's blood is used a lot in rituals concerning wealth. Dragon's blood, because you could say they're kind of one and the same. So get you some dragon's blood, or get you the blood of a snake. which will be infinitely more abundant for a goat or a blood of a cow or blood of a bird or something. You know what I mean? Something that you can just find. We're talking about the blood of a snake or dragon's blood. All right. So we're gonna get up out of here. Again, we're not about to deal with this whole back and forth. We're not about to deal with it today. So I just want to get that out. I know the message, once y'all play this back, it'll probably play back clear. So apologies for the people who was watching, but definitely tune into the playback and I'll get it y'all a little bit later. Peace. Hotep, we out.